Okay, folks, here's another try it video review for me from our 1/35th scale figures in review YouTube channel. We've been having a lot of issues here at the home front with my phone and my computer trying to sync up to share videos. So it's been quite a while, and I've really missed the opportunity to do some of these videos. So here's another shot after I maybe have possibly been able to get those issues kind of straightened out a little bit. So here we go. This is the long promised video review over Mr. Paint acrylic paints. Mr. Paint is a very well known sprayable paint that a lot of armor builders and especially airplane builders will use, and they're ready to spray right out of the bottle. These are acrylics that are made for painting figures, and a good friend of mine on Facebook, Jaroslav Mitasevich, has done some outstanding work. If you get a chance to go to Facebook and look at military miniature figure painter groups, his work with military figures anymore in 35th scale and 16th scale are outstanding. Okay, and they come highly recommended from him. So I would do a video review so you folks kind of see what these are like and how they work. Okay, these are your typical paints, come in the eyedropper format, just like our usual paints that we get anymore. You know, from your Vallejo, your Andrea, your ammo, your AKs, all these things, and they're very, very handy. These are a different composition than some of your other paints, and they're almost pre-thinned to a point. Okay, these are the paints I've got out here for you: pale skin, light skin, basic flesh tone, pink flesh tone, golden shadow, brown shadow, red shadow, and yellow ochre. Okay, now I'm going to give you a demo here in just a little bit about just simply what these paints look like out of the bottle, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a look at the yellow ochre, okay, coming out. And of course, obviously, you see how the paints are separated a little bit, and that's what they always do. Now I have Mr. Robart paint shaker that I use, and this paint shaker, it's a little pricey, and I've seen all kinds of homemade paint shakers, but you need to get one, either homemade or buy one of these from Mr. Robart. But they're excellent, because what it does, it immediately shakes the paints up very, very well, and then of course we'll do the hand patting afterwards. But me being the average Joe modeler, oftentimes, and obviously since it's been a while since my videos, okay, they'll set for a while, and I put them on for about 10 seconds on my Mr. Robart paint shaker that I already did a video review on a little while ago, okay, and it mixes up pretty well. So already you see the paints have been mixed fairly decently. They mix very well, okay, and I'll just show you what they look like. I'll move my little water bottle right here. I'll show you what they look like coming out of the eyedropper. Okay, so here it is, looking like this. Okay, I'm going to put a dab right there, and once again, these are pre-thinned. Now, if we're going to be doing figure painting, especially flex tones, okay, the use of water, okay, is just absolutely huge when you're creating the tones that you need to have. Unlike oils you will mix, and oil painting is absolutely just fine, but when you use acrylics, you're talking about layering different tones on top of each other, and that'll create the flesh tones that you need to have. Here's what they come in, and here's the drops that they have, and you'll see already that being pre-thinned that the way they are, the yellow ochre, okay, already comes out and drips down just a little bit, but the pigmentation of these is absolutely outstanding. Okay, and they go on very smooth. What I'm going to do after I demo just a little bit here, I'll show you some results of me, the average Joe guy, painting a couple of 35th scale figure faces with these tones. And even I can make a fairly respectable figure, and especially the facial tones. Okay, you take some of these paints and some of these masters, like I said, Jaroslav's work, it's incredible what they can do. So very simply, I'll take my usual tools, my Winsor Newton, okay, Series 7 paintbrushes. I have a 0 here, and I also have let's see, that's a number 1 in my Series 7. And I'm just going to show you how these guys kind of mix themselves up a little bit. Okay, I'll use my number 1, and I'll use my water right here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is very simply come here, and I'll take my pale skin, I take a dab of it, put it down here, and I begin mixing it like so. And you'll see once again, as these paints come around, you'll see how well they'll mix with water. Okay, I'll do another little dab test right here. Come here, and you can get these as thin as you want. You can make them as thin as you want. Of course, once again, dealing with acrylics, okay, you're going to definitely need to go ahead and thin them accordingly. I'm going to skip a paint over here, and I'm going to come to the basic flesh tone, which is this one right here. Okay, bring it down. The pigmentation, once again, is absolutely outstanding with these paints. Okay, they do a very, very good job, and they thin out extremely well, and then they keep their tone. I'll go ahead and paint a little line right there of that one. Okay, I'll take it out of here and I'll rinse out. I'm going to go over here. This should be the golden shadow. Okay, golden shadow. I'm going to go right here, come down here, and once again, this one, the darker tone, you can see how it'll go ahead and keep its pigmentation even as you thin it out a little bit. And I'll unload my brush on my paint, and here's that line. Okay, I'm going to skip over here. Okay, and this is going to be the red shadow. Okay, I'm going to take a bit of it here, mix it down here a little bit more. And you can use retardants with these. That means a retardant will affect an acrylic. Well, it won't dry nearly as fast as some of the other acrylics will. It allows a little bit more working time and actually allows some blending. Okay, and then of course you see the golden, the yellow ochre already has pretty well thinned itself out, and here's your yellow ochre paint. Okay, once again, you thin these as much as you want to, and as we're working with our acrylics, you want to go ahead and make sure that they're thinned enough that you can apply them in layers. It's always better to be thinner, okay, and apply more layers than apply it first off too thick or too heavy. You always want to go from the lighter to the darker when you're dealing with any acrylics, let alone Mr. Paint or any of them. Okay, all right, that's kind of it when you're looking at it out of the bottle. I'm going to go ahead and use these, and I'll paint them up, paint up a couple of figureheads, and I'll show you the results of these, okay, in the next video segment. All right, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back after we do a little bit of a painting demo. Okay, here's our final episode or final part of the painting using Mr. Paint Acrylics for a flesh tone. I just thought I'd real quick show you what my wet palette looks like after I get done painting the hornet head. Okay, these are all the tones that I was using of the 8 Mr. Paint Acrylics. This is a Vallejo flat black that I just painted the cap, so you see a little bit of contrast in colors, but the whole figurehead was painted only with Mr. Paint Acrylics, and they worked very well. They thinned very well. They came on very smooth. It was very awesome. So now I'm just going to go ahead and show you, and if I can zoom in, this is what I did for my figure. All right, and this, if I can get focused in here, this is what he looks like as he got painted up using Mr. Paint Acrylics. All right, I think this is a pretty good rendition for an average Joe painter. Okay, the blending of the tones, if you thin them right, were just very nice. Okay, so things all in all went very well. Once again, I can't say enough about how smooth these paints are and how smooth they come on. I'd like to thank Jaroslav Milosevich from Slovakia, who actually turned me and pointed me the direction of these Mr. Paint Acrylics, and I went ahead and picked some up, and I thought I'd give everybody a chance to see what they look like coming through. So with that, I'll go ahead and do a few snapshots, but I'm glad to be back. Hopefully this video will download for us all, and until next time, from 1/35 scale figures in review.